September 14th, 2023. A tense afternoon in downtown Atlanta. The streets were packed. Protesters waving signs, chanting for justice, their voices echoing against glass skyscrapers. It was supposed to be peaceful. A rally against police brutality, organized after yet another unarmed black man was killed during a traffic stop. But what happened that day? No one could have predicted it. Because before the sun set, one man, Malik James, would be arrested, assaulted, and accused of crimes he didn't commit. And before the week was over, his footage would shake the entire country. Malik was no stranger to protests. A 32-year-old freelance photographer, he had covered social movements for years. He was always in the thick of it, capturing history through his lens. That day, he came prepared. A Canon DSLR strapped to his chest, a GoPro clipped to his shoulder, a drone hovering above controlled from his phone. He wasn't just taking pictures, he was documenting everything. Then, chaos. At 3:45 p.m., a squad of riot police moved in. Tear gas, rubber bullets. The peaceful crowd erupted into panic. People ran, screamed, ducked behind cars, and that's when it happened. 6 officers surrounded Malik, body slamming him to the pavement, pressing a knee into his back. "I'm press! I'm press!" he screamed. Didn't matter. One officer snatched his camera and slammed it onto the concrete. Another tore his backpack open, scattering his gear. Then, one of them picked something up from the ground, a brick, and without hesitation, shoved it into Malik's bag. Malik was booked that night on inciting a riot and assaulting an officer. The official report? He had been seen throwing objects at police, that he was a known agitator. And the body cam footage? Lost due to a technical error. But there was a problem. Hundreds of witnesses, journalists, protesters, even a local TV crew, said the same thing. Malik never threw anything. In fact, he wasn't even near the front line when things got violent. So why was he the only one arrested? And then, another problem. Because at 2:17 a.m., just hours after Malik's arrest, his best friend DeAndre Miles hacked into his drone feed. And what he found? Terrifying. The cops thought they had destroyed all of Malik's recordings. They were wrong. His GoPro, still recording, his drone, still flying, and the video, it changed everything. From above, the drone's 4K camera caught 2 plainclothes officers, men with badges but no riot gear, standing near Malik's backpack. And in crystal clear detail, it showed them planting evidence, not just the brick, a gun, a Molotov cocktail. They weren't just arresting Malik, they were framing him. DeAndre, realizing the magnitude of what he had, didn't hesitate. By 8 a.m., the footage was online. By 9:30 a.m., it had gone viral. By noon, Malik's case was reopened. And the city of Atlanta was on fire. Social media exploded. Free Malik trended worldwide. Major news outlets picked up the story. Activists, celebrities, even politicians demanded answers, and the Atlanta PD scrambling. At 3 p.m., they held a press conference. A high-ranking officer stood at the podium, sweat on his brow. He denied everything. But 20 minutes later, another video leaked. An anonymous whistleblower, someone from inside the department, sent unedited police radio transmissions to the media. And when reporters played the audio, it was damning. A voice, deep, commanding, gave the order. "Make sure that camera guy is taken care of." The entire country heard it. Within an hour, calls for a federal investigation flooded in. But while the world watched, something even darker was happening. Because just as the footage went viral, DeAndre went missing. At 6:14 p.m., he sent Malik a text. "Bro, they're outside." And then, nothing. Calls. Went straight to voicemail. His apartment, broken into, his laptop, gone. And when police arrived, they didn't investigate. They sealed his apartment off and told reporters not to ask questions. By now, the city was in chaos. Protests had tripled in size. The governor was calling for a state of emergency. And Malik, still sitting in a jail cell, but then another bombshell. At 10:42 p.m., an anonymous email hit the inboxes of multiple news outlets. It contained one attachment, a second video, footage no one had seen before, a hidden body cam recording. And when journalists pressed play, their blood ran cold. Because the footage didn't just show Malik's arrest, it showed who ordered it. A high-ranking officer, one who had been on TV just hours earlier, denying everything. The last frame of the video, the officer smiling and whispering just before the screen went black. "They'll never believe you." Where was DeAndre? Who leaked the hidden body cam footage? And most importantly, how deep did this conspiracy go? One thing was clear. This wasn't just about Malik anymore. This was bigger, and someone was willing to kill to keep it buried. At exactly 3:32 a.m., the power inside the county detention center cut out. Malik sat up in his cot, shouting, footsteps, and then a click. The heavy metal door to his cell swung open. "Move!" a voice ordered. A man in black tactical gear stood in the hallway, face obscured by a mask. Malik hesitated. "Now," the man said, "before they find out." He didn't have time to think. His gut told him this was bad. But staying in jail? Worse. He ran, through back hallways, past unconscious guards, not dead, just out cold. Then outside, where a black SUV idled with its engine running. He jumped in. The driver? DeAndre. He looked shaken. His clothes were dirty, torn, but he was alive. "What the hell is happening?" Malik gasped. "They tried to kill me," DeAndre muttered. "They're still trying." They drove in silence. Malik checked his phone. Twitter, Instagram, it was all him. The protests were bigger than ever. News channels debated his case, exposing deep corruption in the Atlanta PD. But there was a new problem. The leaked body cam footage, it disappeared. Gone. Every news outlet had taken it down. YouTube removed it for violating community guidelines. The tweet that started it all? Suspended. "They're scrubbing it," DeAndre said, "erasing it from existence." Panic gripped Malik's chest. "Then what do we do?" DeAndre pulled the SUV into an abandoned warehouse, the kind where bad things happened. There, waiting in the dim light, stood a woman, mid-40s, expensive suit, sharp eyes. "Who is this?" Malik asked. The woman stepped forward. "My name is Vanessa Carter, federal investigator." Malik's stomach sank. "Are you here to arrest me?" She sighed. "No, Malik, I'm here to save you." Vanessa pulled out a laptop, opening new footage, not just from Malik's drone, from inside the police department, hidden surveillance, cops talking, planning, laughing. It wasn't just about Malik. They had done this before, planted evidence, altered footage, killed witnesses. And the man behind it all? Deputy Chief Richard Monroe, the same high-ranking officer from the leaked body cam footage, the one who smirked at the camera. "He's not just covering this up," Vanessa said. "He's orchestrating it." Malik clenched his fists. "He's dangerous," Vanessa continued. "And if he finds out you're alive..." A car screeched outside. Malik froze. Headlights flooded the warehouse. "They found us," DeAndre whispered. Then, gunfire. Glass shattered. Bullets tore through the walls. "Run!" Vanessa yelled. Malik ducked behind an overturned table. DeAndre reached for something under his seat, a gun. "You came armed?" Malik hissed. "They killed people for less," DeAndre shouted, tossing him another weapon. The doors burst open. Men in tactical gear swarmed in. No badges, no police uniforms, just killers. Malik and DeAndre fired back, aiming for legs, not heads. Vanessa had a pistol, too, and she was a damn good shot. One by one, the masked men dropped. Then, silence. Only one man remained. He stepped forward, unmasked. Deputy Chief Richard Monroe, gun in hand, smiling. "You boys have caused quite the mess," he said. DeAndre aimed his gun. "It's over, Monroe." Monroe chuckled. "You think this ends with me?" He pulled something from his pocket, a phone, pressed play, a voice message, and as it played, Malik's blood ran cold because it was his own voice. "Take the shot," it said. "Kill the cop." Edited, fabricated, a fake recording designed to frame him for murder. Malik froze. "This is what the media will hear in the morning," Monroe said. "Malik James, cop killer." Monroe raised his gun, but Vanessa was faster. One shot, right between the eyes. Monroe collapsed, dead. The silence was deafening. Malik looked at Vanessa. "You?" "No time," she said, grabbing Monroe's phone. "We have to move." They drove all night. Vanessa had a plan, a final move. They hacked Monroe's phone. Inside, names, cops, politicians, judges, all part of the cover-up, and at the top of the list, the mayor of Atlanta. This wasn't just about Malik. This wasn't just about one dirty cop. It was systemic. At 6 a.m., Malik went live. Not on Twitter, not on YouTube, but on a pirate broadcast signal. "This is Malik James," he said, "and you're about to see the truth they don't want you to see." And then he uploaded everything. The body cam footage, the drone footage, the secret police tapes, everything. It went global. Within hours, the FBI raided Atlanta PD, arrests, suspensions. The mayor resigned. And Malik, he was free, a hero. But as he stood on the steps of the courthouse, looking at the thousands of people chanting his name, he knew this wasn't over. Because corrupt cops, they never go down without a fight. Somewhere, in a dark office. A phone rang. A man in a black suit answered. "Malik James survived," the caller said. The man sighed. "I know. Do we take care of him?" A pause. Then, coldly, "Not yet." 2 days later, Malik sat in a safe house just outside Atlanta. It wasn't much. Just a rundown motel room with a busted AC unit. The kind of place where no one asked questions. DeAndre paced by the window, peeking through the blinds. "You think they're still looking for us?" he muttered. Vanessa, the federal investigator who saved them, sat at the table, her laptop glowing in the dim light. She was tense, focused. "They're not just looking," she said. "They're already moving." Malik rubbed his temples. "I thought exposing Monroe and the mayor would end this. The FBI raided the department. They cleaned house." Vanessa turned her laptop toward them. "They cleaned what they were allowed to clean." On the screen was a leaked police report. Dozens of officers hadn't been arrested. Some had disappeared. And Monroe? Despite being shot dead in the warehouse, his bank account was still active. "What the hell?" DeAndre muttered. Vanessa tapped the screen. "This isn't just local corruption," she said. "This is bigger. Monroe wasn't just covering for dirty cops. He was part of an entire network. And that network isn't going to let you walk away, Malik." A chill ran through him. Then, his phone vibrated. An unknown number, a text. Run, no name, no explanation, just one word. Then, outside, headlights. A black SUV pulling into the motel parking lot. "Get down!" Vanessa hissed. DeAndre killed the lights. Malik's heart pounded. The SUV idled. Then, 2 more pulled up behind it. Doors opened. Men in tactical gear stepped out. Not cops, not FBI, something else. DeAndre grabbed his gun. Vanessa did the same, but Malik's hands were shaking. They were trapped, nowhere to run. Then, bang! The first gunshot shattered the motel window. A flashbang exploded in the hallway. Malik fell back, ears ringing, vision blurring. The door crashed open. Armed men stormed in. Black masks, no badges, silencers on their guns. One of them grabbed Malik by the collar. "You should have stayed quiet," the man whispered. And then, everything went black. When Malik woke up, his head throbbed. His hands tied behind his back, his ankles zip-tied to a chair. The room, a concrete cell, no windows, one metal door, a single dim light bulb swinging from the ceiling, and across from him, a man, dressed in a dark suit, calm, controlled. Malik swallowed hard. "Who are you?" The man leaned forward. "Let's not waste time, Mr. James. You have something we need." His voice was flat, emotionless. Malik's throat was dry. "I don't have anything." The man sighed. "Wrong answer." Then, a punch to the gut. Malik gasped, doubling over. "You leaked classified information," the man continued, adjusting his suit. "Do you even realize what you exposed?" Malik coughed. "The truth." The man smirked. "The truth? You don't even know the real truth." He stood up, pacing. "What you leaked was just the surface. Monroe was small time, a pawn. But the people he worked for," he shook his head, "they don't play games." Malik's blood ran cold. "So you're gonna kill me then?" he said, voice hoarse. The man chuckled. "No, Mr. James. We're going to make you disappear." Then, the door opened, and a new voice entered the room. "Not today, you're not." Gunfire. Malik ducked as bullets ripped through the room. The suited man dropped, a shot clean through his skull. The new figure stepped forward, lowering a smoking pistol. Malik's eyes widened. It was Isaac Kane, a former cop, one who had turned against the system. And right behind him, Vanessa, DeAndre, and a whole team of armed rebels. "Let's go," Isaac said, cutting Malik loose. "We don't have much time." Malik's hands were still numb as they yanked him up. The hallway outside? Bodies everywhere. A full-scale assault had just gone down. As they ran through the underground facility, Vanessa shouted over the gunfire. "We tracked your phone. They were going to move you in the morning, permanently." Malik's mind spun. This wasn't just an interrogation. They had planned to erase him. Outside, the night was cold. They piled into black trucks. Tires screeched as they sped away. Malik, still catching his breath, turned to Vanessa. Who the hell were they? Vanessa's expression was grim. Not cops, not FBI, something worse. She held up a flash drive. "We found this in the facility." She plugged it into her laptop, and Malik's stomach dropped at what he saw. Files, dozens of them, names, photos, surveillance records. They had been watching him for months, not just him, journalists, activists, politicians, even federal agents. Malik realized this wasn't just about him. This was a full-scale operation. And now, he wasn't just exposing dirty cops. He was taking on an entire system. DeAndre drove in silence. Malik stared out the window. The city lights blurred past. Then his phone buzzed. A new message. "Unknown number. You have no idea what you've started." Malik exhaled slowly. This wasn't over. It was just beginning. The safe house was silent except for the hum of Vanessa's laptop. On the screen, a classified document. A single name stood at the top. Jonathan Cade, ex-military, former CIA. Now a shadow figure behind private security firms, and the one pulling the strings. "He's the reason Monroe got away with so much," Vanessa said. "The reason your footage got erased. This man? He runs a whole system. Cops, politicians, even media outlets. He decides what the public sees and what disappears." DeAndre ran a hand down his face. "So what? We take him down? He's probably got half the damn country in his pocket." Malik's jaw tightened. "We don't have to take down everything. We just need to make sure he can't hide anymore." Vanessa leaned forward. "There's a government hearing in D.C. tomorrow. Cade is scheduled to testify, but under classified protection. No media, no press. If we expose him publicly, we end this for good." Isaac cracked his knuckles. "Then let's crash the party." The plan was insane. Step 1. Hijack a live TV broadcast. Step 2, drop everything. Footage, files, secret conversations, before Cade can silence it. They had one shot. The location, a private news station in Atlanta, Cade's own controlled media outlet. It was the only network given access to his testimony, so if they got in, they could take over the live feed. "We'll need access to the main control room," Vanessa said. "Security is tight, but DeAndre?" She nodded at him. "You're up." DeAndre grinned, tapping on his laptop. "Give me an hour, and I'll have every camera and door under my control." Malik exhaled. This was it. The news station was a fortress. Armed guards, keycard locks, surveillance everywhere. But DeAndre? He was a genius. From a van parked 2 blocks away, he hacked the station's security system. Cameras, looped. Doors, unlocked. Inside, Malik, Vanessa, and Isaac moved fast. Dressed as press staff, they slipped past guards. No questions, no suspicion, until dash. "Hey!" A security guard spotted them. Isaac didn't hesitate. One punch. The guard crumpled. Malik grabbed his radio, listening in. Then, static, and a chilling order. "Lock down the building, now!" They'd been made. The station erupted into chaos. Guards rushed toward the control room. DeAndre's voice crackled through Malik's earpiece. "Y'all got 2 minutes before I lose access. Get to that damn console!" Malik and Vanessa sprinted down the hall. Isaac held the rear, gun raised. At the last hallway, 3 guards blocked their path. Isaac fired first. Bang! One dropped. Vanessa threw a smoke grenade, blinding the others. Malik ran, faster than he ever had before, through the doors, to the broadcast control room. He grabbed the console, slid in the flash drive. The screen flashed. Upload in progress. And then, bang! A bullet tore into Malik's shoulder. Malik hit the floor, pain exploding through him. Through gritted teeth, he looked up. Jonathan Cade stood over him, cold, calculated, a pistol in his hand. "You have no idea what you've just done," Cade said, voice low. Malik coughed, blood on his lip. "Yeah?" He gestured toward the monitor. Cade turned, and his face went pale. The upload was complete. And not just that. It was broadcasting to millionaire. Every TV, every phone, every screen, exposing everything. The secret police files, the body cam footage, the leaked recordings. The public was seeing it all. Cade's empire, falling apart in real time. Sirens blared outside. FBI, military, everyone. Cade's men scattered. Vanessa and Isaac burst into the room. Vanessa's gun was trained on Cade. "It's over," she said. "Cade?" He just laughed. "You think this stops me?" He sneered. "I built this system. It doesn't need me to survive." Malik struggled to his feet, blood soaking his sleeve. "Yeah, maybe. But you're not walking out of here." Cade smirked. Then, he reached for something inside his jacket, a detonator. Isaac saw it first. "Get down!" Boom! Malik woke up in a hospital bed, bandaged, alive. Vanessa was beside him, watching the news. "Massive conspiracy exposed. High-ranking officials arrested. FBI launches investigation into nationwide corruption." Malik exhaled. It was over. Mostly. Jonathan Cade? Body not found. DeAndre sat on the other side, shaking his head. "Man, we really gotta stop almost dying." Malik chuckled, then winced. "You think Cade's still out there?" he asked. Vanessa didn't answer, but her expression said everything. 1 week later, a mysterious email hit Malik's inbox. No sender, no subject, just one sentence. "You stopped nothing." Malik stared at the screen, heart pounding, because for all the truth they had exposed, he knew the real war was just beginning.